By the end of this video, I'm gonna have convinced you of this. Your company doesn't have a strategy problem. You have a what comes after strategy problem. Here's what I mean. You're smart, so you already know what the most important problems or opportunities facing your company are. That's strategy. But how much of your time is spent actually delivering that work? I'm not talking about paper pushing or hosting town halls, but actually doing it. My guess is not much. That's the how gap. It shows up in how the humans inside your business coordinate, innovate, meet, make decisions, and bring bold ideas to life, or not. It's not a leadership problem, and your people aren't lazy. The problem is that your company was designed for a world that no longer exists. You know in your gut you can't ignore this gap any longer. If you want your company to survive the next 5, 10, or 20 years, you have to intentionally design it for the outcomes you need it to deliver. The Ready helps companies design modern ways of working that close this gap for good. How you work is the competitive advantage nobody's talking about. It's your most powerful lever for the growth and innovation you want, your employees want, and, if we're both being honest, that your board expects you to deliver. Why? Because we've entered the intelligence age. Everyone has the same access to the newest apps and tools. AI is democratizing expertise in such a way that hiring smart people isn't enough anymore. Kids are making and launching new products from their basements. In this world, the only true differentiator is how you organize humans to learn, adapt, and create at scale. If your business isn't intentionally designed, you're going to struggle to survive, no matter how much you invest in AI. The companies that treat design as a must-have instead of a luxury will compound their advantage and lead the market. And the ones that don't will be outpaced, out-innovated, and ultimately made irrelevant. Here's why I think The Ready is the best at what we do. We're a collective of organizational designers and systems strategists. And those are just fancy words for we partner with leaders to reinvent and restructure how their companies work. We've partnered with more than 300 organizations like Airbnb, Navy Federal, Microsoft, and Sweetgreen, often after they've tried to lead big change themselves and just hit a wall. The patterns we hear leaders describe cut across industries, scales, and geographies. Our best collaborators come to us with challenges like, we can't advance our strategy, but the ELT was so aligned when we left our offsite. I wouldn't say our leadership team is broken, but we don't have high trust either. I have to deliver a huge piece of work, but I don't have the authority to pick the team I need, and the budget is non-existent. Replacing these costly patterns with new ones doesn't happen with off-the-shelf frameworks, so we don't show up with those. They don't work. Instead, we embed in the ambiguity and complexity of your company. We join you in the mess, and we stay and transfer capabilities until you've got a system you can run without us. Honestly, that's what change management actually is. The impact is real progress on your biggest initiatives. We've been helping leaders turn words into action for more than 10 years. Every month you delay or tell yourself it's the market and not your leadership, you lose ground while competitors adapt, metrics head in the wrong direction, and your brightest leaders lose hope that anything will ever change. The time for fiddling around the edges and chasing after those 2% efficiency gains, it's just over. It's time to play offense, because here's the real work of this era. Become the best at evolving and organizing how your company works. That's how you become unstoppable in the face of uncertainty and changing markets. And by the way, here's what I mean by organizational design. It's how you work. It's how strategy lives and breathes in a weekly meeting, how people show up when they're in full-blown disagreement, how quickly a decision gets made when time is of the essence, and how information actually flows between functions. It's not rearranging your org chart like a kid moving Legos around. Right now, there's too much stuck in your company's pipes, and it's slowing you down. I'm willing to bet that you already know this. Everything feels slow, political, joyless. What most leaders don't know is why change management is so hard internally. And it's because working on the business and in the business is nearly impossible to do well at once. Traditional consulting has warped our understanding of what change should feel like. We believe it should feel like practice, and like no great idea is too hard to execute. If you're ready to reimagine your company for today's world instead of the one that's extinct, here are 3 levers to pull right now that will give you outsized impact. Number 1, reset your ELT. For the far too many executive leadership teams exchanging pleasantries while the most important work stalls, we get you humming. We surface the real tensions, clarify roles, and build shared ownership. The payoff is a team at the top operating with high trust and strategic coherence that lets you move and win at speed across even the largest companies and most complex environments. Number 2, build resilient strategy. Most strategic efforts fail because they don't match how an organization operates. All the time we spend deciding what to do and then never investing in how it gets done. We build you a living strategy system so your team can name the most important priorities, make hard trade-offs, clarify ownership, and pivot when needed to hit your goals. Number 3, activate the mandate. You've been handed a massive initiative. Launch a new product, transition off legacy systems, double headcount in 6 months. The chances you can get this done without changing how your teams work is wishful thinking. We help you design the rails. Now, you might be thinking, how much does this cost? Our engagements are priced based on the complexity of the problem you want solved. Companies that don't change how they operate often pay a silent tax in the form of slow decisions and disengaged teams. We can do this internally. We've got smart people. Smart people inside broken systems burn out faster. We don't replace your talent or your creativity or even your problem-solving skills. We enable it. If you've gotten to this point, you already know this work is very hard to champion alone. Does this stuff really stick when you leave? Yes, because we don't hover outside your context. We install practices. We hand over rhythms, rituals, and tools teams actually use. That's why clients say years later, we're still doing that thing the Ready taught us. How do you actually measure success with clients? We look for concrete signals like faster decision-making, fewer meetings, and teams that report feeling more empowered and strategic, because those leading indicators show us a system can tackle any kind of mission. Here's a recent example. A team we worked with saw a 31% drop in the time it took them to make decisions, and they were 18% more engaged in their work less than 6 months after hiring us. This just feels like add-on stuff, not real work. Every organization is perfectly designed for the results it currently gets. So if you don't like yours, missed deadlines, political gridlock, or talent burnout, then investing in how you work isn't extra credit. It's actually the most essential thing. I know we can help you if you want an expert partner, not an empty framework, or to be passed between junior consultants who haven't done this work themselves before. If you see the pace of change and know survival depends on rewiring and not just repainting. If you're ready to do the hard work and expect others to do it too. We aren't a good fit if you're not willing to shape how work actually happens, if you're looking for a quick fix rather than deep and lasting change, or if you have a valid but not urgent problem. Our work happens best when there is real motivation to deliver. Your company deserves a structure built for the future, and you're now over 5 minutes into watching this video. So what's stopping you? This work is all contextual, so we want to start with yours. Book a 30-minute working session with us today. We'll work to understand your context, surface what's holding you back, and propose real moves that make a difference. No generic sales pitch, and no wasting your time, because you need to grab the reins and spark some movement now. Let's do it together.